big part of my story, one of the reasons I want to start this was when we talk about the story of Rob and Monica and the children. The worst day of my life was September 21st. I get the phone call and Connor had taken his own life. He had died by suicide. Right. So that's when our whole world just blew up, and it's like, everything changed forever. Mm-hmm. So it's like, we're coming up for 7 years now.
Yeah, how do you process that?
How do you process it?
You're not prepared.
No. And it was just something that, we've gone through it. We've stuck together. Me and Monica, we've been supported each other, and our son Aiden. The support of the community was amazing. But having the business, it was like, we've met so many people now going through the same. It's such a big thing in our society. Everybody knows somebody that's affected by suicide. And for me, it was like when it happened, like for the first year, I couldn't even process the word in my own head. Mm-hmm. But now I've come to the point where I think it's important to talk about it. Mm-hmm. 'Cause I say, like, if we can't talk about it as suicide survivors, how are people struggling? How are they supposed to talk about it? And everyone says, no, I wish they had a talk. Then Bell, let's talk, and all that. It's like, so we have to, because there's so much shame and stigma attached to the word suicide. And that's kind of my goal now, is to kind of break that barrier so people can say the word and actually be there. And hopefully by doing this, I'm hoping to help people to avoid that.
Welcome to this episode of inspiration.ca, where we don't just talk about inspiration, we show how real people turn inspiration into action, how real people overcome adversity, and how real people thrive. Of course, I'm joined by my pod partner, Ed Denyer, the coffee guy. How you do, Ed?
Oh my God.
I tried that.
I don't even have a comeback.
No, you don't. That's Swedish. Look it up, kids. I'm Bill Waters, the founder guy. So today's guest has been in my sights for a very long time, but sadly, we have never met until just the other day. I kept hearing his name come up whenever a fundraiser was going on. My friends all call his shop the best place to get meat and great service. And everyone seems to know him, except me. Until now. Even though I go to his store regularly, I think he just sees me coming and hides. He's the founder and owner of Brady's Meat and Deli, which he started in 1999. He followed his passion and apprenticed to be a butcher in the UK. After working there for a few years, packed up and headed to Waterloo, Ontario, which I'm sure we're going to hear about. We talk with people about taking on incredible challenges, overcoming severe life-altering events, and continuing with your dreams. Rob Brady represents all of that, and I'm looking forward to learning more about this true inspirational man. So with that, I'd like to present my new friend and a true inspiration, Rob Brady. Thanks for joining us, Rob.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. Now, and to be totally open with everybody, because this is all about authenticity. We started this podcast, and I did not hit the record button. So this is take 2, but I can tell you it's going to be just as authentic. No cheating here.
Well done, Bill. Well done.
Yeah. Thanks. I fess up. Anyways, Ed, we start with you, buddy.
So I get to jump in here, and I live a small, sheltered life. I drive a normal vehicle.
No, you don't.
I don't get out much. But to be honest, I do run a small business, and it's my life, and it's all-encompassing all the time. You always think about it, eat it, breathe it. And I know, and I've been to your place where, we're collaborators, we're a lot of things, friends. But above all is I know you run a small business, and it's like mine. It consumes you, I'm sure, most of the time. So for me, though, the big thing is I like to be able to walk in your shoes for a day and just see the reality of what your business is, because I know mine. I know where the beans are. I know how the orders come in, and I know what my responsibilities are, which are usually not all the fun ones. As much as the glory would seem like I, sit around and cup coffees all day and go, oh, this is wonderful. You should try this. It's more like paying bills and doing accounting and all those fun stuff. So what's a day in the life for you?
So yeah, thanks for having me, guys. My day is, I'm very much involved in the business. We're going into our 27th year. We are closed Sunday, Monday. So Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'm there usually around 8 o'clock. I do all the ordering, plan all the specials that we have coming up, how we're going to sell the product, manage everybody. So I'm lucky enough now that we have a great team that I'm able to step out a little bit more. So Tuesday, Wednesday afternoons, I can spend some more time to myself. I'm always there for the busy days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, being closed Sunday, Monday, which we've always kept. Since day one, we've always had that. So very much still involved, still love what I do.
You started at the market, right?
We did, yeah.
So you should just tell your staff that you're going to work market hours from now on. And
Yeah.
you only do Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, and Tuesdays only in the summer.
That's the plan. But yeah,
I
so
like that concept.
but it's nice because I have a little bit more time for myself. So I like to, in the afternoon, you might see me heading to the gym, or I've taken up yoga recently, so I like to fit that into my schedule. My wife Monica looks after all the back end, like she does. She runs the business.
She's the admin.
Yeah, she does.
Cool.
She does everything. So
Lucky.
She keeps us all straight. Nobody sees her, like she's always in the background. She doesn't get enough credit, but she does keep it.
To be fair, I've never seen her in the business,
No.
but I have communicated with her many times. So.
But yeah, so and then we like to cook together. A lot of people know me as like someone that loves to barbecue. I have a collection of quite a few barbecues, which Monica's not always a fan of. And then in the evenings, like I like to during COVID, I've picked up teaching myself how to play the guitar. So I'm getting a little bit better. So that's
What
usually,
kind of guitar?
acoustic. Yeah. So I like to do that.
YouTube?
YouTube
teachers?
No, I learn on what's called the Spark. It's a Spark amp. So it's basically you can play along to an app through an amp. Put my headphones on and just kind of play along. And I'm not sure how I sound.
You can't hear yourself,
I think I sound okay.
but can you record it and then hear
There
it?
is. I don't record it, but I like. It's just something I like to do. Just the basic chords. And
Hold on. You put headset on and you listen to what's playing, and then you're just playing,
Play
but you
along.
can't hear what you're playing.
Well, I do. Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, what if you're really bad?
No, my family probably would tell you different.
But
that's how
do
I.
you bring it out at campfires and
Not quite there yet.
no?
I'm still very. Not quite there. Hopefully. But that's how I like to end my
I have a
day.
guitar right here for you. No,
yeah.
I don't. I don't know how to play any instruments.
But yeah, so when we started the business, so we're going into our 27th year. But so my day was a lot different then. As you know, we had the farmers market. It was a kind of crazy time. So it was like 5 a.m. starts till like, building the business is a lot different then. So
Yeah, no, and I started at the Kitchener Market, so I know the marketeer concept, and we had like that with the warehouse in the back, kind of. So I get it.
So I did that right up until the awful fire that we had, and we just never went back.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So by then I wanted to focus on the shop anyway.
Yeah. Had you had the shop and the
Yeah, so I was
time?
juggling, and it wasn't easy. And back then, I didn't have like a person to help cut the meats, so to speak. So it was a different. My day would have been a lot different then. So
And with the fire, how does that all settle out? Did you just lose all that stuff that was there? Or do you get
yeah, I
insurance,
told them
or...
my freezer was full of tenderloin, but they didn't believe me.
Everyone's standing going,
And
it
so
smells so good.
it was a really sad day actually. I mean, I remember standing at that fence looking at it, and just everything was gone.
Oh, I can
Oh
only
yeah, I
imagine.
was there that day.
Yeah, it was
and
tough.
I didn't light it.
No, and I didn't either, because somebody
Okay.
said they seen the Brady's van flying through St. Jacobs late one night, but no, it wasn't me. But it was sad for a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's a lifeline that everyone had.
We never really got asked to go back, and I never asked to
To
come
go
back,
back.
because I was ready to leave anyway. So
Yeah.
we just I was focusing on Parkdale Plaza where we were building the shop.
Was the shop already up and running?
Yeah, we'd had the shop, so we were
So
juggling
that's,
that.
I mean, you got lucky, and in a sense, it changed your destiny, but
Yeah.
it cemented your
Yeah,
legacy.
but my day would have been a lot different then, like a lot longer. So
Oh yeah,
we're lucky now. And then since COVID, we changed our hours a little bit at the shop too. So
that's when you went Sunday, Monday off.
no, we've had that from day one.
I know, because you've said it already twice. And,
Was that
you're
standard though?
Is that
in
a
the
standard
industry?
thing?
Like
Yeah,
a
I
lot
think
of-
so. And then most people, like I remember getting together with a bunch of butchers. We went on a meat trip to the PI
Yeah.
with one of our suppliers, and we were all sitting in this bar one night talking, and they were like, "So, the conversation came up about Sundays," and I was like, "We're closed," and they were like, "How do you do that?" Because they're all in Toronto, and they're like, that's one of our busiest days, and they're like, "This guy's closed on Sundays." And so we've just our staff respect it. It's good for the staff to have that downtime. It's not 7 days a week.
Were you opening in the mornings some Sundays or during
No,
the summer? Or
no,
was
we
it
would only
how did
do
that work?
like just closer to Christmas, the way the holidays fell. Sometimes
okay.
that's the only time we do a Sunday. So we've always
Right.
done that. It was always like
That's
that.
really good though. That's
We've kept it, and I think customers respect it.
well. I was gonna ask in joking, like, does the meat not go bad on Sunday, Mondays? So you just have to sell more on Saturday.
We'd sell out Saturdays. That's
Yeah,
the plan.
exactly. So,
when
like,
you're
I mean,
good, that's
I
what
get
you
it.
do.
And,
Oh yeah, no,
Coffee-
trust me. I go in at like 5 minutes to 5 or whenever.
Yeah, it's
It's
gone.
like,
Oh, at the
yeah.
market was always the deals. Like, I mean, I was a marketeer for a long time, and so you always go downstairs to the meat guys at, whatever they don't
$3.
want to load is like, well, I'll buy it, and then it's always worth less. Like, it's worth more to them to get rid of it
Yeah.
for less money than it is to keep it at that point. So but
I
you
me-
never know what you're gonna buy.
I remember when I started though, so I worked for somebody there when I first came, and I remember taking two buses from Stanley Park to get to the market. So my day was a lot different.
Yeah.
Then.
Oh,
It was an hour just to get to work.
Oh my god.
And then I remember working at the market back then, so we're talking like 1991 maybe, 92. And the market was a different place then. It was a lot of
I
fun.
can't imagine.
Oh yeah, I remember
The old
It
stockyards?
has, yeah.
It was, I loved
yeah,
it. Yeah,
yeah.
And the people I worked with were just
Oh, you should have
amazing.
seen it in the 70s, 80s with the Mennonites and they were all characters. You knew everybody. They were all locals too.
Yeah.
That was the difference too.
Some mornings are just a damn lie. You deserve better than a watered-down start. Eco Coffee's original blends cut through the bullshit, delivering a taste of bliss that's as raw and real as it gets. Forget the polite pick-me-up. This is an unfiltered rush, an enchanting jolt that will redefine your mornings. There's no faking this kind of pure, unadulterated bliss. It's the only truth you need to start your day.
But you know what? We're starting to talk about going back in your life, and we had in our first take on this, we were talking about when you were 5, 6, 7, 8, where you grew up, what your parents did. I wonder if you could go through that.
Yeah, so I grew up in the UK, in England, born to Irish parents. My parents are both from Dublin. They emigrated in mid-50s, I believe it was. Ended up in a place called Corby, Northamptonshire, which was a new town back then. It was an up-and-coming place to go, and so they had discovered iron ore in the ground in the 50s and built this massive steelworks and had nobody to work, so they bust them all down from Scotland. So it became this very Scottish town.
How far from Scotland?
Probably a 6-hour drive. So yeah, there's still to this day it's known as Little Scotland.
Yeah.
We grew up eating haggis and drinking iron brew
Black pudding.
and Bell's whiskey.
So you're Irish, Scottish, English.
Yeah, so my parents are both from Dublin, and we spent a lot of time going back and forth. That was our vacation time. We'd go back to Ireland to visit family.
Yeah.
Still have a lot of family there.
And they were both factory workers,
Yeah, both my parents worked in a potato chip factory.
which you'd think would be an Irish thing.
Yeah, it was called Golden Wonder. Lots of great memories. So in the school holidays, we would go there. They would do split shifts. So my dad would work 6 to 2. My mom would work 2 to 10, and we'd meet at the gates. Actually, they'd allow us in, and we'd sit in the canteen and there's nothing like having crisps that come off the line.
Oh.
Of course, they see 4 kids sitting there like, would you
there
guys
you
like
go.
some crisps? I'm like, yes. Cheese and onion is my favorite.
Oh, really?
So we would sit there.
Cheese and onion.
Oh yeah, golden.
You don't
onion.
get that here.
We sometimes bring them in at the store from Walker's Cheese and Onion. If you've never had Walker's Cheese and Onion, I would highly recommend it.
Okay, I'll
It's the
look
best.
at it.
But yeah, so we grew
Yeah.
up eating potato chips.
Nice.
That's my Canadian version, but as we say back there, crisps.
But they were hard workers.
Hard work, and they taught me and my 3 sisters what hard work is.
Are your sisters older, younger?
I have 2 older sisters and 1 younger.
Oh, I have 3 older.
Yeah, they're all over there, so I was the only one that left when I emigrated to Canada. So it was kind of a tough move, leaving the family behind.
Yep.
No doubt.
Been there.
But you got into the butchery
So
as an apprentice, right?
So I, at 14, so on the way here, I was just figuring out the math. It's 46 years in the meat business, which is
A long time.
kind of mind blowing. So I started
It's
at
almost
14.
half a century.
Almost, yeah. So I think if I can do another 4 years, I'll hit half a century. I'll be happy with that.
You get a watch?
Yeah, maybe buy myself a watch. Maybe
Gold
Monica
one?
will.
What's the stone for 50? Or is it a diamond or something? I don't know. I didn't make it that far.
Not sure.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But yeah, so how it started was my mom was working with a friend in the factory. She worked in the steel plant in the canteen. And her co-worker's husband was a area meat manager for a chain called Dewhurst. So she set up an interview. I went down to the guy's house and had a coffee with him and his wife. And he said, I'll pick you up in the morning. Pulls up in a Mercedes and then picks me up 5 a.m. straight to the shop. And then there's like 9 butchers and they're like, who's this guy? This is like the area manager's like pet. So it was a tough start. It was a tough start. So it's like, oh, you're friends with Vic? I was like, oh, he just gave me a job. But I love what I see. I loved what I seen, and it just happened to be in the meat business. Like I love the and you would know that the way I can interact with people.
Yeah.
Just happened to be in a meat butcher shop, and they said to me, if you want to do this part time, I worked every Saturday just cleaning all the stuff up, which was hard work. And then they said when you're done school at 16, which I was ready to leave, like the day came fast. I was like, I'm out of here. And they offered me an apprenticeship.
Nice.
So a 3-year apprenticeship. And it worked out fantastic.
Well, I mean, it's the interaction of the the genre of work that you do is very similar to the coffee thing too.
Yeah.
Is there's this learning of your customers, and there's an education that they don't have to tell you what they like.
Yeah.
And you have to discern that, and it's a to and fro conversation. But you learn everything about people because you interact with them regularly.
Yeah.
And you get to see. It's funny for me. Names have always been a problem.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
But not what people order.
It's Ed, right?
But it is a thing for me for sure. Names.
No,
but,
I get it.
But when I know what coffee they like, and I
Yeah.
just see their face, and I'm like, oh, there's Africa mixed with some South America, because I know their taste profile, which is a weird thing.
Yeah, I know. We talked about this quite a lot, but the other day we just talked about it's like when I first came to Canada, like the service was a lot different back then. The people would like pack your bags and and talk to you and have and we still have that. Like when you come into Brady's, people love that. Like they we know their names, we know we have a relationship with them.
Right.
And that's kind of getting lost in a lot of places now. Like
very much
especially the
so.
bigger chains. And it's like you go in there, it's like you're lucky if you get a hello, and when I'm at the cash, people say, "Oh,
It's
pack your
hard
bag for you."
it's hard to create, but it's also hard to find people that understand that.
Yeah.
Because today's youth has lost it too.
They haven't
because
seen it. They've
They've
never
never
seen
seen it, right?
No.
So it's been gone from
That's right.
from all of us, and then all of a sudden they don't even understand what that means, and you're trying to but you have to interact, and they're like,
Yeah.
I don't have a phone. How do I interact?
And that's why people love that. Like I hear that a lot. Like especially on Saturday morning, it's like they come in and it's like it's their weekend thing. They come in and they enjoy the experience, and that's what it's all about.
100%.
Right,
It's an
so-
experience. It's an interaction. It's a moment that
What's a
marks your day, and you feel it.
But it's very human.
Correct. It's
Yeah.
a human
It's not
interaction.
process. It's
No.
not. It's you're not a number. You're not a profit margin. You're not a.
Yeah.
You're appreciated when you walk in.
Yeah. Like sometimes I'll say to the customers, like, sorry, it's really busy and we only have one cash. I said, sorry, our self checkout's broke today. Because so many people are used, but they're very patient, and around the holiday times, it's it's a busy place, but it's the hustle, and people like that too, and the staff are fantastic, so it does move fast.
Yeah.
But it's all like we're there, like hands on.
How'd you? Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself because I want to talk about you coming to Canada, and
Yes.
and what prompted you to do that.
So the reason I ended up in Kitchener was my mom's two brothers who left Dublin in, I believe, 1954 or the mid 50s, looking for a better life, ended up in Toronto.
Yeah.
Uncle Tom and Uncle Billy. So we would get Christmas cards from them, and we knew they existed.
You ever heard of the Wonderful? It's a Wonderful Life.
I try to watch it every Christmas
Yeah,
Eve.
me too. Uncle Billy.
I always
But
fall
anyways,
asleep. I always
yeah.
wake up when he's like the kid drowns,
Yeah.
almost drowns, and then he's bankrupt. I've never watched the whole thing. It's my wife's favorite movie,
Oh, mine too.
and every year
I
we
will
put it
watch it
on, and
every year. Yep.
I've tried, and it's a great show, but I've never watched it from start to finish. Because that time of year, I'm always like,
Yeah.
Christmas, that's our time. But yeah,
sure
so
enough.
Uncle
Watch
Tom,
it in the summer.
I should do that.
Yeah.
But no, both my uncles ended up in Toronto, so that's how I ended up here. In '87, my parents were coming to Canada for a visit, and they asked if I wanted to join them, and we came to stay at my uncle's in Kitchener.
And this is round two of this, you telling me this story. But you have to talk about what convinced you to come.
What convinced me?
Yeah, because you didn't want to be with your what
So
18, 19-year-old doesn't want to be or
Well,
wants to be with
the
their
conversation was my dad was like, "Do you want to come with us?" And I'm like, I don't think that's not really cool to go with my parents at this age. I was probably 19, and my dad, I remember him saying to me like, "You have cousins, you probably won't see us," and he was right. So we arrived. It was middle of May. The weather was really nice, and I just remember it being just such a massive open parents and just so different from the UK, and I mean, he was right. So my cousins, Mike and Dave, took me here, there, and everywhere and showed me a great time.
And you said he lived here in Kitchener?
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Billy was still here too? Or?
No, Billy, my uncle Billy, he lasted one winter, I think, in Toronto because they landed in Toronto and they were both bartenders by trade. And Billy,
Irish bartenders.
Yeah, Billy decided that it was too cold, and he ended up in a place called Redondo Beach, which I never got to go visit him.
You didn't think of going a little further when you came over?
No. So, but Tom stayed here. Kitchener
Yeah.
was his home. He worked at the city of Kitchener. He was a great guy. I used to love going over there and having great conversations before I started my business. And he was very wise man.
Yeah.
He's gone now, but that's the reason I came here for the
Nice.
first trip. And then back in 2 years later, I remember coming back from the trip, telling my dad how amazing it was and thanking him for bringing me over. And then in '89 I had an opportunity to come back with a friend of mine, and we took the train from Toronto to Vancouver to meet a friend who left England from school when she was about 7 years old. And I heard she was at the University of British Columbia.
This little town called Vancouver in Canada somewhere.
So me
You
and
know
Paul,
how far away it was?
well, it's funny because I remember asking my Aunt Margaret, like on that trip in '87, I have a friend, she's at school in Vancouver. I goes, I want to go see her. And she goes, that's like the same distance you just took. And I was pretty good at geography. I actually passed geography. So me and Paul took the train out west, which was an amazing trip.
How long did that
Yeah.
take? Couple days? Few days?
It was a
week?
4-day trip.
Yeah.
And I think back then it cost $350 one way.
Wow,
Yeah.
imagine
Now I
that.
think it's like $5,000-6,000.
Yeah.
$1,000, but it was an amazing experience.
I bet.
They had
Yeah, really.
the cart, the
Oh no way!
dome.
Like the Canada, what do they call that?
the dome where you could sit up and look out
Yeah.
the window, and it's like,
That's
are we there
wild.
yet? It had a bar card on it, so we
Oh.
had a little bit of money of that there
Do you
on
have
the
any
way
left
out.
by the time you got
Way
there?
out. Yeah, that's fair.
On the way back, it was a totally different story. So
Did you meet up with her?
We did. We got to
Okay.
meet, and we toured. She was at University of British Columbia, and we got to visit and catch up, which is amazing. And then we ended up working on a small hobby farm in a place up by Powell River, north of Vancouver. Didn't go too well. I think we got asked to leave. Not because of me, but because of my friend Paul.
Yeah, he's not here right now. So
No,
you
but
can say that.
we end up not. It didn't work out the way we wanted to, so we had to kind of start thinking about heading back. So we hitchhiked from Vancouver to Banff, which I just loved. Like I was like, I want to stay here.
Spectacular, yeah.
But we had left kind of in a hurry. We didn't have time to get visas, so it was kind of like we're leaving in 2 weeks, thanks to Paul because he bought the tickets. But then we ended up in Banff, and they said if you show us your papers, there's a job here, but we didn't, so we had to leave there. And I think we had after we bought a one-way ticket on the Greyhound, I think we had $60 between us for a 4-day trip on the bus. So we ended up in Toronto at 4 a.m. and everyone kept telling me that Yonge Street is the longest street in Canada, and we found out it actually is because we did walk it from the bus terminal to the 401.
People raise money doing that.
I might do that one day. Maybe I'll get Paul over.
Yeah, get Paul. Yeah, for the reunion tour.
But it took us 4 hours, and I remember standing on the bridge. So by the time we got there, it was rush hour. The cars were flying by everywhere. So Paul's like, "Phone your cousin Dave." So I phoned Dave, and he's like, "But where are you?" And I told him. He said, "Well, I'll come and get you." So at that point, it was either phone Dave or go back with the open return ticket, fly home. But then it's like, you can't go home because, we told our buddies in the bar that we're leaving for 6 months.
You'd have to hide.
I think this, it was 6 weeks in. I was like, oh, what happened? So anyway, Dave picked us up, took us to back to Kitchener. He said, I can keep you for like a week. He was a single guy. Didn't have a lot of money, but he did. And I'm forever grateful for that. And then my cousin Mike found us a job. Paul was a fantastic bricklayer. His dad owned a company, a big Irish family of 10. 5 boys, 5 girls, and they're all in the trades.
Oh, man.
So he was a good bricklayer. So Mike found us a job, and he said, you be the brickies laborer. I was like, that can't be that hard. It's just, I'm used to hard work.
The brickies laborer? That's the guy that does the thing for the bricklaying guy?
Carries all the bricks up the ladder. I didn't tell him I was scared of heights, which I am.
It's not the height, it's the fall.
Yeah, but anyway, so we got there Monday morning. It's our first day on the job, and all the guys, it was a German family, nice bunch of guys, and Eric was the owner, and he's like, go make some mud. So I said to Paul, like, how do I do this? He goes, give me some tips. I go around the corner and think I was making mud, and where is this guy? He comes back like 20 minutes later. He goes, what's going on? They're all waiting to lay bricks. And he said,
for the mud to
so it was
harden.
like soup. It was so like, I put so much water in
water.
it. The wheelbarrow is like falling out. And he goes, you're not a brickies laborer. I goes, I'm actually a butcher. He goes, come on, I'll show you how to do it. And he taught me, and we actually spent that whole summer working. It was fantastic.
Oh,
That's
nice.
cool.
Yeah, so that was in May, and then we stayed. Our ticket was open till September, and we had to leave then.
Yeah.
So, and that's when I met my wife. And
There?
it was in Canada, in here.
So she's
Before
from
you
here.
left.
Monica's from here. Yeah, we met that summer. So it was the summer of 89.
Summer of love.
Not summer of 69. It was the summer of 89. And it was the hottest summer I've ever experienced. Like, it was pretty amazing. Yeah.
I bet.
And so you could
89.
stay here because of that, or you went back home and
No,
then
we
came
stayed.
back?
So we were now making money, and Mike found us a place to stay. It was, I think we paid $400 a month for like a lower level of a house of a friend of his, and that was it was great. It was nothing fancy, but it was a place that we could spend the summer here, and it was yeah, we had a great time.
But you stayed until you couldn't stay anymore. But you already met
So
Monica. Then.
Paul had met Monica's friend, and I met Monica, and so we that's when we fell in love, and it was kind of tough to leave because then September Monica had to go back to school, excuse me, and we had to fly home. So then I made the trip. I went back to the butcher shop I worked at, and I was very honest. I said, like, I've met a girl. I'm not going to stay, but I need to make some more money, and I'm going to go back. And they took me. They said, there's always a job here for you.
Nice.
Oh,
And
sweet.
yeah, so
How long did it take you to get back?
well, I made about 3 trips because I came back, and that was 89, end of 89. The recession hit then, and
Right.
unfortunately, the guys laying the bricks lost the business. So,
Oh, no.
so then I was like, I didn't have papers, so I couldn't really find work in the meat business. Monica was at school, so it was a tough time. So I go back to England, back and forth, and then had the conversation with my mom. She goes, "What are you gonna do?" And she goes, I said, "I think I'm gonna marry." So I picked up the phone, called Monica, and I said, real romantically, like, "Do you want to get married?" And she's like, "Sure." And I was like, so I said to my
Sounds like a movie.
so I said, "Yeah, it's a true story." So I said, "When can you be here?" And she goes, "Well, school's out for a week. In 2 weeks, I can come over in 2 weeks, and we can get married." So I hung up the phone and said to my 3 sisters, "We got to plan a wedding."
Oh, jeez. No.
That's how.
Hey,
That's amazing.
So
nothing better than Irish sisters
Yeah.
to plan a wedding.
they helped.
Yeah,
So Monica
without
showed
a
up
doubt.
2 weeks later. My son Sean, my brother-in-law Sean drove us to Gatwick to pick her up. She didn't know anybody. That was a Wednesday night, so she was jet lagged all Thursday. We went out Friday looking for buying a wedding ring and stuff like that, and then on the Saturday we got married. Wow. And there was like I think 14 people at my wedding, and then afterwards all
Dude,
my
amazing.
my Irish family came.
What about her family?
They didn't come. No. she
and did they show up at the airport with a
they know?
shotgun when
no,
you came?
but she showed up with. I remember going to a hairdresser who was still friends with Lynn, and she says, "I'm getting married." And she goes, "You getting married?" She goes, "Yeah, I met this guy, and he lives in England, and I need you to do my hair. I'm getting married on Saturday." And she showed up with a wedding dress under her arm in a box. We still have it in the house, and so I knew she was pretty serious. Like she flew by herself.
Wow.
And she met my family, and then I moved. We spent a week in the UK, and then I emigrated to Canada. Then
Wow.
Like you came back with her?
a week later, yeah,
Was that fast then?
yeah,
Cool.
and then she went back. She was at Niagara College at the time, so she went back to school, and I lived with her dad, and that was like
Oh, this is great.
No way.
that was tough.
No way. How long do you live there?
He's a great guy. He's gone now. Richard was from the East Coast. He's Prince Edward Island.
Oh, yeah.
Salt of the earth.
Yeah,
Yeah,
those
oh,
guys.
yeah,
Yeah.
He'd give you a last beer.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
he treated me. He didn't have a lot, but he treated my family so well. When they came over, he just gave them everything. He helped me out as much as he could, but it was a tough time. There wasn't a lot of work.
No, not.
And I remember going to immigration and getting all my papers sorted out, and they were great. And then I was going through. I did quite a few jobs before I could actually, because back then you had to go through for health reasons. You couldn't work with food until you were cleared because of the mad cow disease.
Yeah, yeah. So I remember
Oh
that.
my god,
yeah.
I was doing that.
So I couldn't work. So I did so
Holy
many.
crap.
I did so many shitty jobs.
Wow, that's a great story.
My first job was well drilling, and I told you I was scared of heights.
It was what?
Water well drilling.
well.
A
Well
family
drilling.
member. It was McLaughlin Wells.
So you had to go
back
down
then.
down the holes?
No, I had to go up the ladder.
Oh no.
So they would bring the rod up, and I had to go up and attach it
Oh boy.
to up, and then it's windy, and it's like so we got married in October, so now we're getting into like November. It's cold, rainy, and so I'm up there like did that till the ground froze, and it's like, well,
And you were
there's
like,
no more work for you. So I was
God.
like, what do we do next? So back then you go to the job center and take the bus down to the job center, and it's like, oh, snow removal, I can do that. So phone this number, and it's like, okay, the way it works is when it snows, we go through the list, we call everybody, and if you want to come, you come. So I was at Monica's dad's house waiting, watching out the window, looking at the snow. Phone rings, we're gonna pick, do you want to go? And I was like, yep. And I didn't have any like winter jackets. I had
No
like
gloves.
I had like an
No
old
boots. Sneakers.
I think I had that first night we went out, it was like a 12-hour shift.
Oh my god.
And it's funny because the places we went to, I drive by them now, and all these memories come back. And I remember, I think I had pneumonia because it was like I wasn't geared up for this this kind of job.
I think you were young.
Oh my
So
god, yeah.
I did that till March, and there was then they had us doing like cleaning up, spring cleanup, and then I decided I was going to go into look for the meat job. And my sister flew over from the UK. She said, what are you doing this weekend? I said, well, the usual, just sitting around eating all Rick's food. My father-in-law, probably waiting for Monica to come home. And she goes, how about we come over? So her and her husband came over. She worked in the airline business at that time, so she got a free flight.
Nice.
And I had an interview on the Monday with the Veal Shop. So I was telling you earlier about going through the book, the Yellow Pages. So she brought me good luck, and I actually got hired then in the meat business. That was my first job, working at the Veal Shop, which was
So
at
that
the
veal
farmers
shop,
market.
was that located at the Parkdale Plaza there?
It's on Baffin Place, which is just around the corner from here.
Yeah, okay. Right.
So going back to the Yellow Page story, when I started going through the book, beef at Benkner's was one of the first. Veal Shop was the last. And then it turns out the Veal Shop hired me, and they had a stand at the market. So I did that. I worked there for about 8 years. And then together with the owner of the Veal Shop at that time, we approached Benkner, who was a customer of ours, about buying his business on Parkdale. So that's kind of the two ends of that list of meat shops.
So the veal shop, were they part owners of Brady's Meat?
No, so the Veal
How
Shop,
did that work?
so we kind of started a partnership together. We were in partnership for about a year.
Yeah.
Because the veal shop, he had outgrown the veal shop. He needed someone to run that. So we kind of started, I was only working very part-time, like 3 days a week at the market. And then Bankness became available. So together we bought that, and then we went our separate ways after about a year.
So and then it became all yours? Or?
It was called Bankness. We kept the name for about a year.
Oh, okay.
And then
You just erased the rest of it.
you just assumed that, yeah.
we changed it over to Brady's, and that's when Brady's, so that was October 1999 when we purchased Bankness. And Herb Bankner, great man. He's still around. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but he would help me at the farmers market on Saturdays because we bought the business, and he kind of helped do that to help me juggle it. And then I would focus on the store. And it was kind of like starting from scratch. Like, even though the business was there, it was like a lot of older German clientele, and his heart was out of the business. He was ready to get out. And then here's me kind of opened up to, fill the counter up. And
An Irish guy, Irish, Scottish,
speak
English
German.
guy coming in, not speaking German.
So it took me quite a while. They're like, he doesn't even speak German.
What's he doing here?
Yeah, so
I can fake it.
so we got to really promote the shop through the market.
Yeah.
And then we stayed there until the fire.
I do remember the stall at the market, the Brady's.
The veal shop.
Was it the veal shop? Or
Yeah, it was called the veal shop, and then we added
Yeah.
the Brady's closer to the end because I wanted to focus on building the store.
Yeah, but you
And
needed
then-
to get some recognition.
See, I never went
Yeah.
to the market back then because I was at the.
It
other
was
market.
great. Like back
Yeah, you were
in
the kitchen.
We were the
market.
enemies. So
yeah,
we
the
didn't come
stock
up here.
the old stockyards was the best.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like in
When did that end? What more or less? What year time frame?
when they changed the name.
The stockyards, yeah.
It was in the 90s at some point, like late 90s maybe. But it was because the veal shop had another stand at the kitchen market, and then across at the county market, which do you
Yeah,
remember
it's
that?
the Waterloo County Market. Yes.
Which is really old
That's
school.
where Daryl Siddler's mother
At the
sold
new
her
Kitchener market.
pies. Siddler's
Oh yeah.
apple pies. Oh my god.
At the new Kitchener market or the old Kitchener market?
Oh, we're talking back
we're
then.
talking-
It was
The one in the basement.
yeah.
And
I worked that one a few times, but
the
my
one in the basement underneath the.
Yeah.
Like where Charles was.
yeah, it was
and-
totally different back then. But then the county market was like
Where
the
was that?
least. That was across the street, so that's now where the
The county
Antiques?
market.
antiques are now.
Oh, I didn't know
That was an
Yeah, it
old
was-
that was
yeah.
a real old farmers market.
No, that was before my. I arrived here in '93 and then really never came up because I was in the Kitchener market.
Yeah, but I got
Sorry, 2003. I arrived in 2000. In 2003 we opened.
okay.
All you immigrants.
But then I got promoted to the stockyards
Welcome.
market.
Glad to have you, by the way. Seriously.
We're old immigration.
Hailed immigration.
But no, it was totally different back then, and towards the end, like 2 years before the market, I decided it was time to really focus on the shop, and the fire happened and just kind of forced us out, and we never went back.
Yeah. So you've been building that at Parkdale now for 27 years.
27 years, yeah. So
Yeah.
it's we have great staff now. That's gives me a chance to I'm lucky enough to travel a bit now. People say, "Oh, where are you going now?" It's like it took in those early days we didn't travel
didn't
at
have
all.
the holidays.
No, you
No.
couldn't
You
do
didn't have
anything
weeks
but
off,
the
days
business.
off.
No,
That's
we didn't take our first vacation until it was like our family vacation was it was quite a few years after.
How many years in did you have kids?
So we got married in 1990. Our first son was born June 30th, 1998, Connor. That was probably the best day of my life, and we were lucky enough to have a second son born August the 8th, 2001. That was another amazing day.
So you guys are still young then too.
Yeah, 30s.
I started a lot later.
So we it was you talk about what's a day in your life. If you had to ask me back then, it would be like.
The birth of a son is like no other thing.
But no, I mean, yeah, that too. But like just how building that business and raising a family, and then
The chaos?
chaos,
Anxiety?
and then Saturday nights, my wife would say, "No, we're gonna go here," and it's like,
Yeah, I can't.
I'm not
Yeah.
going anywhere.
No,
I
yeah.
So we don't have that problem now. It's
Was
like,
Monica in the business from the very beginning too?
no, Monica worked for a company called Conestoga Rovers.
Oh, I know. Yeah,
Yeah, and
they
then
were over here too.
yeah,
Yeah.
great
Yeah.
company.
You
Yeah,
know,
it was a great company.
funny story, but you know why I know them? It's not because of they're here or whatnot. Because the daughter of the owner of that the owner lived right next to us in Beechwood. And
Frank.
The daughter, I never even met the guy, but the daughter
Amazing
was
family.
super into Halloween. And so
Yes.
they were world famous Halloween parties at their house.
Wendy,
and,
yeah, for
and
sure.
the house they had like always it was to the nines, like over the top, like by 100%.
That's the Rovers family. So
Yeah.
Frank Rovers started the company.
Right.
So Monica was lucky enough to start in the mailroom. And then unfortunately, Connor, our oldest son, got sick at 5 years old, so she had to leave work. So that's when it really got tricky, like, because then we had 2 boys at home, and Connor
So
spent
he's
about.
5.
Aiden was
Aiden's
2,
Yeah.
and we had just starting his business, so it was like, so Monica. So basically, we didn't realize what we were in for, but Connor was probably in the hospital for a 2-year period. So it was a long journey.
Wow.
So I don't know to this day how we did it because we didn't have.
You know, it's something my son was in the hospital many times over,
Yeah,
starting from birth.
yeah,
And then my daughter had cleft palate and starting a business and having to do it. I know exactly what you're talking
yeah.
about.
It was.
And I think back and I wonder, like, how the hell?
Yeah,
How does anybody get through it?
yeah. I don't know how we did it. It was like because my family was all back in England, so we had no support there.
Yeah.
And it was a tough period. But we came out the other end, and the business somehow survived.
Yeah.
We managed to get through it.
Is it you realize you can survive anything if you can survive that?
Yeah, pretty much. And it was like the recovery because then Connor went through a lot of surgeries in
Do you mind
London.
if I ask what he had?
Yeah, it was called a spinal AVM. It was kind of the best way to describe it is like if you can imagine in your artery, it's like kind of like an aneurysm.
Yeah.
So he was at school one day, and teacher said, "You have to come pick him up. He's in severe pain. We don't know what happened. He's like, he hasn't fell. Nobody's hit him. Like he's just." So I picked him up, and we brought him to the hospital, and we didn't know. They told us at first it was cancer. It was like we were all over the place. We had no. But anyway, it turned out to be that it was in the lower part of his spine, and it was basically like this thing was growing, and it was
Just putting pressure on the
Yeah.
the nerves and
yeah. So we didn't know what it was and how they were gonna. So it was a long road. It was many surgeries, and then the recovery was at a place in Toronto. So it's gone now, but it was about a 2-year time frame. So somehow we did it. We got through that, and then,
running a business.
Yeah.
That has to be open
yeah.
5 days a week.
But then Connor was behind because this happened around SK grade 1, so he was now behind in school, and that was hard to because during that time and they tried in the hospital, but they're not set up for that.
No.
So, but yeah, we managed to get through all that, and I remember coming out of there, and that was when we had our first family trip. It's like after we'd been through it, I was like, our neighbor at the plaza at the time owned the travel agent, and I was like, just want to get away, somewhere hot. And we ended up going to Antigua, and it was
nice.
probably one of the best
Yeah.
best memories I have of a family trip. It was our first time going away. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Nice. So the boys are growing up. You're building the business. I heard your name everywhere. Like you got very close with the radio stations, with the television.
yeah. Like I was always taught to help other people, like from an early age. Like it's just something I like to do, and my wife Monica's like that too. So it just came naturally to be involved, like because the community's been so good to us, like supporting us 27 years, and it was just easy to find ways to give back. And yeah, we've found different avenues, and it's just come naturally.
Yeah. You don't see that as much anymore,
No,
sadly.
no, you don't.
No. We talk about this regularly on this podcast.
Yeah, I mean, we've been blessed to have people here, and I think it's kind of why we're attracted to them. We're not the norm. We're not the usual. We're people that are resilient, that have seen a lot of things, that have been through a lot, but that have done things, and that don't sit down and do nothing.
Yeah.
And you're not a 9-to-5er. You
And we don't do
create
it just
life,
for ourselves.
and you create life, and you build community, and you thrive on it, and you thrive on others prospering because of decisions that you help guide or make or
Yeah.
be part of, or even just have a voice in.
Yeah.
And so we've found a lot of community people through this podcast, and it's fun to be able to kind of partake in their successes so
Yeah.
that other people know that you can go out and you can do well for the community, and the community can do well by you, because it's important.
Well, it's an amazing community. Like, I remember when I moved here, it's like, I always had the goal that I want to have, like, the best butcher shop in town selling the best meats. And everyone says they have that, but it's not always the case. But I kind of learned so much from the family I was with in the UK. It's like, I had that vision. I want to come to Canada, and that was always my goal. And then anytime we've asked our customers to help out with any kind of fundraising, they're always there. They always support it. And it's just not that hard to do. So,
But it's because you have that relationship with your customers.
yeah, and that's important. That's a nice.
It's not like asking for a donation at the till.
No, and I don't like to do that. You know,
Yeah.
do you want to donate to sick
Yeah.
kids today? It's like, we don't do that. It's like, it's there if you want to help. You know, and some people don't, and that's fine. But most people, like the recent one we just had with the peanut butter for one of our customers,
Yeah.
sons who want to give back to Food for Kids. Like, it was amazing. Like, we had 200 jars of peanut butter.
Yeah.
And then people are like, you're selling peanut butter now? No, but you can donate.
It goes great on food,
On meat.
on meat, peanut butter meat.
Yeah, so, but yeah, I love that part of the business too, like, because we have that little platform that we can use. Like, it's not like, we're well known in the community. We like to give back.
Yeah,
And
Well,
it's,
that's how I got to know you. And there's something magical about giving back to the community. It comes back to you.
yeah, and I think too, that's true, but I mean, that's not why we do it.
I know
but,
it's not
No,
why you do
no
it,
one
but
does
I-
it for
yeah.
that.
but the reason I like to do it is because I think other people can see you do it. And it's like, hey, you know, I can do that.
Yeah.
Right, so that's kind of more my it's like we're kind of inspiring people
Yeah.
to be good people,
Exactly.
and in the
That's
way
why
of,
you're on this podcast.
yeah, to give back, right? I mean, it's not hard
Yeah.
because I've seen that. Oh, it's like, oh, you know, people say you always do so much, and it's like, well, it's really not that hard. It's like, and then it makes them want to do it too,
Yeah.
which is not a bad thing, right?
And it's fun.
It is fun, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, we take that little platform and just run with it, and yeah, we have fun with it.
Yeah, that's very cool.
You know that feeling when a track just hits? That's Eco Coffee's signature blend espresso. It's been the undisputed leader of our espresso bar since the jump, and we're not changing the set list. Why mess with perfection? This isn't some fleeting B-side, it's a chart-topping shot that's bright, balanced, and sweet with a crema so smooth it's practically a baseline. No remixes needed. I understand it completely. We're in many ways that same parallel and just a different tangent. I always came back through the BIA and being part of creating that community
Yeah.
that sustains, everyone's livelihood, because all of us together can pull harder than just one alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I completely understand it, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
But it's also a lot of work, and it's a lot of intensity, and it takes you down this long road. It's like, but you end up getting there, and you're at a point now, I think, where you can see now a little bit further ahead, and now you have the mindset to start to help others and
Yeah.
to help guide others through their through many of the business trials and tribulations, never mind others.
Yeah.
And obviously there's a point to this inspiration, and recently you invited me to participate in something that was very interesting, and I want people to know about it.
Yeah.
I think it's super beneficial to those who are there. Whether it's a give or a take, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's whatever participants need. So I'll let you introduce it, but I think it's something we need to talk about as well.
Yeah, so we I've had these ideas for a while about helping other people with so basically what we started was a men's walking group. It's called KW, Men Who Walk and Talk. The idea came from back in the UK. About 5 years ago, a gentleman started something very similar, and he was having a tough time. People talk about mental health, and it's a word I don't like the term, how it's used. Like when you hear the word mental, it's kind of. I wish we could
Yeah, the
change it.
connotation has gone places that maybe shouldn't have.
Yeah, because now we're anyway. This
Well,
guy.
it's always related to something bad.
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. When we were kids,
Yes,
weakness,
exactly.
Or
Why don't you
it
go
wasn't like a muscle
No,
where a
exactly.
muscle needed to be developed and or maybe it got weakened or
That's right.
injured and needs to be rehabilitated. They don't talk about it that way.
Yeah, no,
and
it's
this
true.
This is how we need to start talking about it and get rid of that old.
So I've seen the stuff they were doing in the UK, and I reached out to them and I said, I want to do something like this in Canada. Like, how does that work? And they got back to me and said, we can't really help you, for insurance purposes and stuff like that. They said, but by all means, you can do it yourself. So reached out to him again and said, can you give me any tips here and there? And he's like, what I would do is just set up your own Facebook page or Instagram and just run with it. So I'm thinking, okay, how can we do this? I can't do this by myself. So I reached out to somebody I thought might be able to give me a hand. And the Flippins story, Chris Flippin.
Yes. Did you know him before?
Yeah,
Like,
so he's a supplier of mine.
supplier, okay.
And he's been very open about his mental health on his social media. And a few times he's reached out to me about talking about my story. And I was never ready for that. And then after this, I thought, what? Maybe it's a good time to talk to him. So I talked to him about my idea, and he said, let's do it. So we set up an Instagram page. My son Aiden helped me set the logo up with the help of, ChatGPT.
Yeah, it's a
and
beautiful
honest,
thing.
and to be honest, I don't know Chris's story that well.
Yeah.
So, but I also didn't ask a lot of questions because
No.
I think that it's a natural for him to come tell us his story.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why. But I mean, obviously open to hear anything from you, and how you guys started.
Well, big part of my story, one of the reasons I want to start this was when we talk about the story of Rob and Monica and the children. The worst day of my life was September 21st. I get the phone call and Connor had taken his own life. He had died by suicide. So that's when our whole world just blew up, and it's like, everything changed forever.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, we're coming up for 7 years now.
Yeah, how do you process that?
How do you process it?
You're not prepared.
No. And it was just something that, we've gone through it. We've stuck together, me and Monica, we've been, supported each other, and our son Aiden. The support of the community was amazing. But having the business, it was like, we've met so many people now going through the same. It's such a big thing in our society. Everybody knows somebody that's affected by suicide. And for me, it was like when it happened, like for the first year, I couldn't even process the word in my own head. Mm-hmm. But now I've come to the point where I think it's important to talk about it. Mm-hmm. Because I say, like, if we can't talk about it as suicide survivors, how are people struggling? How are they supposed to talk about it? And everyone says, no, I wish they had a talk. Then, Bell, let's talk, and all that. It's like, so we have to, because there's so much shame and stigma attached to the word suicide. And that's kind of my goal now, is to kind of break that barrier so people can say the word and actually be there, and hopefully by doing this, I'm hoping to help people to avoid that.
Yeah, it's, you don't, as someone who hasn't had to go through it, luckily. I know people who have, and it's so hard to know when you can talk to them.
Yeah.
About anything.
Yeah.
Like
I think grief in general is like that.
Yeah.
And I was that guy too before we lost Connor. I was like, what do you say? What do you do? It's like, but we have to somehow figure out how to do that, because now it's like coming up for 7 years, and for me it's like, I don't know who knows or who does know, but it's kind of like, don't mention it because you're going to make them upset. It's like, well, it's a bit late for that, because believe me, it's the worst thing that can happen.
Yeah, you can't even imagine how upset I've been all this time.
Yeah, and if I had a dollar for every time someone said, I can't imagine, because you can't.
No.
Like, you know, it's just one of those things, and I can't imagine something that you've gone through if I haven't experienced it. So luckily, so when it happened, it was like, where do we go? How do we do this? Like, you know, how do we survive? And this place kept popping up from certain people. It's called the Coping Center.
Right. Angie Hill.
Yeah. So,
Yes. Okay.
So the Coping
she
Center.
talked about that.
So that's my new any kind of fundraising. I really think everybody should know about the Coping Center and before you have to know about it. So fortunately for us, it was there, and it was just before COVID. And I remember going into the Coping Center, and the couple that run it are Glenn and Roz, who are like angels, like just amazing people. So we end up at their place. It's in Blair in Cambridge, that beautiful house on the left-hand side when you come into before you hit Langdon Hall, the new roundabout.
Yeah.
And the river's on the left. There's a beautiful building.
Oh, I've been driven by there many times.
So that's,
I didn't know what that was.
The story of that is amazing too.
Wasn't that an inn?
No, I'm not sure. It was
Oh, it's on the left.
the left-hand side.
Sorry, yeah, okay.
It's
Yeah,
the first
left-hand
building.
side.
But that
Okay.
that house was actually
beautiful house,
was
yeah.
donated to them by somebody in Cambridge. I found this out on a last part of our class there, because the way it started was they lost their daughter 30 plus years ago, and back then it was like they had nowhere. So they found a guy in Colorado who was an amazing grief person, guru, like, and still to this day he comes to. Dr. Wolfelt is his name, and he comes every year. We've actually been to see him speak right after we lost Connor. Just an amazing person. I remember going to watch him speak, and I remember laughing at the time, and I went up to him. We bought some material, some books, and I said, "Thanks for making me laugh." He said, "I hear that all the time, like in such a sad time." So the Coping Center, I can't say enough about them. We're actually golfing on Wednesday. Every year they have the Coping Classic.
Right.
It's at Guelph Lakes. So my son's a big golfer, Aiden. So we go every year. I'm not a big golfer.
That's because you're a business owner.
But it's an amazing. We just love to give back to them, because I was going to say, when we went into the Coping Center, sat down, it was just before COVID hit. And I remember walking to this beautiful house, just in a total blur, sitting down, and they talked to us for a solid hour, made us feel very comfortable. And I remember getting up and saying to them, like, "Where do we pay?" And she goes, no, and she's from Australia, Roz. She's a lovely, like, thick Australian. She goes, no, you don't pay. Like, we'll talk about that later.
What is wrong with you?
Sorry, that's not my best Australian accent.
Yeah, it was better than what we could do.
But so she said, we'll talk about that another time. She goes, we do fundraising, and they have the big golf this week, and then they have, you've seen, I know Angie talked about it, the car.
Yes. Yeah.
Which one day I'd love to drive.
Yeah.
It's the Corvette. And that's where they get most of their revenue, and the rest is from just private donations. So I like to make it aware to everyone I can. Like, they helped us so much, and we graduated through the Coping Center it was over a number of years. The first part of it was hard because it was during COVID. It was all done virtually. So it was our first grieving counseling group was on Zoom. That was my first time doing Zoom. Wasn't the best, but they did the best they could. But the people we met, it was so healing and helpful, because they did understand, because they were in the same boat.
Been there.
Right.
There's
nothing more than someone that's been to the place that, as dark as it is, that you can relate to.
So they've been amazing, and we'll always be forever grateful to them. We've met some amazing people that have also went through that program and become friends with them, and only because we can understand each other. And at the time when it happened, there was one thing I'll never forget. Was a friend of mine, she'd lost her son the same way. She goes, if you ever want to speak to another dad, I know somebody who could help you. So she gave me this guy's name, so I called him right away. His name is Paul. He came out to the first walk with us, and he said, when you're ready, I'll sit down and talk with you. And I said, I'm ready.
Yeah.
He said, when do you want to meet? I said, tomorrow. So we met at a coffee shop, and he just sat down. I'll never forget, he sat down, and the first thing he said to me, of course, he said, I'm very sorry to hear about your son. And then he said, tell me about Connor. And I just sat and told him everything, and it's something I'll remember forever. Very grateful. And so now it's like, how do we? What am I going to do with this? So it's like, well, I've been asked to go on the board for the Waterloo suicide prevention a number of times, and I was never ready. And they were totally fine. I said, I totally get it. So I said, one day I'd like to do that. So last year they asked me again. Went through an interview process. There's a pick of 3, so I was kind of like, if they don't pick me, that's okay, because I'm not sure if I want to do this. But they did pick me, so I'm on the board this year, just trying to bring more awareness to it. And I think it's the big thing is being able to talk about it. Because to just push it off to the side, because that's only a small part of who Connor was. That's how we lost him. He died by suicide. But he was way more than that. And we're way more than suicide survivors. Like,
right.
That's just a piece of who we are now.
It's not the defining aspect.
No, but it is who we are now, and it's like, and it has to be talked about.
Yeah.
Well,
it's hard to talk about it.
It's hard to talk about it, but it's easy to let yourself be defined by something because of all the reasons that you can be, because you're angry, because you're sad, because you're lonely, because, those big impactful things that happen to us can define us, or we can refuse to let that happen. And our misery comes from its own place, but it's sometimes hard to be able to stand on top of it and not let it be the thing that makes you who you are. And so this group of guys that you started, and I think a lot of them, I don't even know what or why they're there.
No,
but you can tell that everyone that's there is there because they want to be.
Yeah, it's funny because somebody messaged me and she goes, Rob, and she knows our story, and she said, Rob, like, is it just for like suicide survivors? I was like, no, it's for any man, because we know that men don't usually talk. So it's for any man that's wants to come out and into fresh air and just go for a hike. And any age, like, again, if you know someone that's just lost their wife and they're at home, and loneliness is probably the biggest thing that people suffer with now. Not just men, like in all ages. And I think, and living in a world where, going back to when we did our first class, it was all on computers. Like, now I'm the kind of person that likes to be like in the real world.
Oh, I agree. And I mean, Bill and I have talked about this many times, and for me, a conversation has to happen like this.
Yeah.
You have to look people in the eye, and you have to be able to hold their gaze and understand their thoughts and have a dialect that's deep and profound. And that's really hard to do when you don't have the person in front of you.
We did one Zoom interview.
Yeah.
That was with Dan O'Toole.
Yeah.
And it's because you couldn't come down.
And that makes sense. I understand.
It was hard, and it did work out.
Sure. But it's hard. And it's hard. It's hard, and it's just a reminder of how easy it is to hide behind the camera.
Yeah.
And behind the environment that you're like this. There's something about conversation face to face that there's some palpable sense of belonging and feeling to the connection.
I think it can make sense, if there's bad weather and you don't have to drive to Toronto to have a meeting,
Oh, absolutely.
Fly to the other side of the country and you can do it. That makes sense. But what we were doing, and again, it wasn't something that they planned. It was just the way the world was.
No,
then.
that's.
But still to this day, like, a lot of people prefer to do that, like to work from home stuff. But I've always been that hands-on, like face to face.
Did you ever close for COVID?
No, never.
Me either.
We just went crazy and
virtual
crazy.
high five, because I never closed a day either. And a lot of people, COVID made them into other people because they were locked into an environment that they weren't accustomed to being in. Whether it was better or worse in the long run is different, but it was overnight and people were locked. But we weren't. You weren't. I wasn't, and we just kept going to work.
We almost felt guilty when we come out because the plaza was like,
yeah, exactly.
we were the only one open. It's like,
I agree. I understand it completely. And I would look out the window in the village of all people, but actually the Mennonite were very resilient too, and they still went their way. And like, at least that was all you would hear as go by as the carts midnight carts and the horses clopping down the street.
Yeah.
And you're like, this is what a dystopian world we live in. but
yeah, so the guys in the UK reached out to them, and they were so happy that there was a Canadian version of what they were doing, and we've done 2 walks now. You came out for the second one. The first one we had 18 guys show up. One guy drove an hour each way, which I knew when I heard that we're on the right track.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
And they had said too, there's something about when you're walking down a trail, and believe me, like after everything happened with us, like I've been to so many different counselors and psychotherapists, and that's not for everybody. You know,
Yeah.
It takes you like 2 or 3 visits to kind of connect, and then it's like, this is not going anywhere. So you start all over again at the beginning, and it's like, you know, they're looking at the clock, and it's like, you know, we've got 10 minutes left, and what do you want to talk about now? So for me, it didn't work.
Yeah.
Not saying that it can work for some people, but there's something about like just a real connection, and we've had some good conversations in the short time that we've done it, and I think it's going to take time to build. The word connection comes up so many times.
Right.
It's about connecting,
Yeah.
getting off your
Yeah.
computer, putting your cell phone down,
Really
getting
human
out,
connections.
talking, and
the nice thing
making
about a trail walk is that you're all looking ahead,
exactly, yeah.
and you don't have
Yeah.
to stare into each other's eyes.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah,
There's no
there's something about that.
confrontation.
yeah, that's a different way for sure. Because
They used to
you couldn't
say
just
that's
do it with everybody.
how to talk to your teenagers.
Yeah,
Just get them into your car.
I got a question for
Yeah.
you, because I didn't even talk to you on the walk. I was with some other guys, and how is it now that you've gone twice? I mean, I guess you're part of the the directors or the people that created it, so everyone looks to you as as the guidance of how to do this. And I know you already, and I just want to talk to other people.
yeah.
And I found myself, as you can tell, I like to speak a lot, so I just started. The other guys weren't saying anything, and the silence was too awkward for me. So I was like, "So guys, well, and I just started telling them about me and what I do, kind of thing, and just kind of let them. And then after a while, I had an inspiring story from one gentleman. I'm not gonna repeat it, but it was amazing to see, like, once there was flow, then all of a sudden it starts to
Well,
come
it's
out.
very new, right? So it's kind of funny. The first time I told you we met over across in St. Jacobs,
Yeah.
beside the Block 3 brewery behind it, and there's like 18 guys kind of sitting around and was getting a few funny looks. It's like, so,
Who's the gang?
but then I explained it. I said, people that don't know me, I'm like, okay, I'm not a counselor. I'm a small business owner, and this is something that we want to do. It's like, let's just keep politics out of it, and let's go walk and talk and see what happens. And then, if you came by yourself, like, hats off to you, because that's pretty brave.
Yeah.
If you came in a group, don't forget that there's a few solos that, so it's hard, like, because I was already busy chatting with someone. It's like, and as the organizer, I guess I should have been kind of making sure that everyone's, but,
Engaged somehow.
we're all adults, and somehow we figured it out, and I think it went really well. We had quite a few repeat for the second one, and then they're already asking when's the next one. And I had another friend reach out saying, do you know if there's anything that's for women? I'm like, I'm not sure, but we could help them do it. So yeah, but it's not like, people don't really understand. It's not like you show up there and say, okay, so what's your problem?
No, absolutely not. It's
That's not what
have a
it's
But
like.
it doesn't. That's the problem with that question.
Yeah.
Is what's your problem?
Yeah.
You have to ease into these things.
So my wife said, something you could say is like, so what brings you here today?
Yeah.
It's a good question, and you can just open up and you can say as much as you want or as little, or you can just listen. And I think we'll learn more as we go along, but I think the initial, just the setup of it, people like the idea, and it's gone over quite well. So
hold on, let me interrupt here. There was one moment.
No, you can't.
There was a moment where we walked over this bridge, and the bridge starts to jump, and it's like there's 24 guys, all big dudes,
Yeah,
are
it
all
was
walking on
shaking
this
pretty
bridge,
good.
and the whole bridge starts flexing, like bouncing like this. It's like, Rob, are we gonna be in trouble here?
So that's when we got to talk about the insurance part.
Yeah.
But everyone started talking right away because it was this weird, it wasn't planned and it just happened.
But yeah, when I when the idea came through, I talked to a few of my friends, and mostly female friends, and what do you think of this idea? And they're like, Rob, you got to do this. It's a great idea. It's going to be needed so badly. And now, after talking to some people in the group, one guy reached out and said, I'd like to do something like, how do I do this in London? And that's what happened in UK. Dan Reed, I believe his name was, started, and now he has over 38 different
Satellites.
groups all over the UK.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant.
And all they do is they get together and they walk, talk, and if we set up a website, so it's kwmenwhowalkandtalk.com.
I was going to ask.
And on there
Before I was interrupted.
we're gonna have some resources if somebody is really struggling. Then, like, people that we know, people I've met through my business that are in that business of like therapy, someone that we can trust. Like, we can always send somebody to them if they need to get help.
Wait, so say the name of the site again.
kwmenwhowalkandtalk.com.
kwmenwhowalkandtalk.com.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then our Instagram page is the same thing, and that's kind of where we started with it, and it's very new. We've just had it up and running for like maybe 2 months now, but the response has been great.
Nice. So you'll have announcements on there when the next one is.
Yeah, so we're typically doing that on Instagram. It's usually on Sundays at 1:00, and it's usually like an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours top. We try to keep it so it's like
so
not
you can
too
get
long.
your chores done.
Yeah, so we're trying to find, and then I think we were looking at doing once a month. That may change. Some people said it'd be nice if we could do it every 2 weeks, and it's something that could kind of grow itself. Where myself or Chris don't have to. It could even be like a group of guys that make friends. Might say,
it
hey,
just happens every so often.
do you guys want to get
people
together
go.
in a smaller group, next Saturday? And we have like a WhatsApp group that we tapped into, and and again, the word connection. Some guy put something in, looking for like having trouble with my whatever furnace. And I'm like, I know a furnace guy. Boom. So just people helping people. Right?
Yeah.
That's what I think
Yeah.
is missing. Like we have to go back to like helping each other.
Yeah. We used to have a group at Northfield Racket Club when it was a racket club, or when it was whenever pre-changeover, whatever it is. And it would start out with a couple of us that just had a hard time committing to working out.
Yeah.
And we had families and businesses and all of these things. And that we would just sort of challenge each other. So there was two of us, and then a third, and then a fourth, and a fifth. We had 70 people just naturally grow over the next bunch of years. It wasn't anything overly formal. Some of us would run, some of us would bike, some of us we'd all get together for trips to Ottawa for races or even ski trips or things like that. But it was just this group of people getting together that evolved out of the need for connection and need for support and need to helping each other.
Yeah.
And it didn't require rules. It didn't require registrations or admittance or anything like that. And that's what I love about this. It reminds
Same.
me of that.
Yeah, and that's what I love too. Like, to talk to a counselor, you start on like $200
Yeah.
an hour. It's like there's no cost for this. I think down the road, again, going back to the coping center, like maybe there's chances for us to do different fundraisers.
Yeah.
To help places like that down the road. But there's no charge. Just come out and just make a connection with another person that
And I
you might be able to help.
The idea is amazing. It's brilliant. It's important because we as men, and especially in our age group and our demographic, we're
Yeah.
not good at this to
No.
just go cold. Like, there's a persona that you build in a business environment that people engage with you all the time, but they don't know you.
No.
And you've created, like I did, a persona that works every day and is in front of the business, and it's the
Yeah.
business persona that you've very carefully calculated. But to have a conversation that means something to you is a different thing.
Yeah.
Providing a forum to get people to have that opportunity is tremendous.
Yeah.
And especially, we've talked about this before, the social fiber within our community has dissolved because of COVID, because of
Yeah. Absolutely.
because of phones, because of technology. And it's taken us away from each other. We don't have bowling nights anymore. We don't have these, if you're in sports and you're lucky to be, great. But as you get older, that's also harder to do.
Yeah.
So this opportunity to get people to just connect and especially kind of drilling it down to people that have been through something. That if you're going here, it's because you've had to face something in your life that really was a challenge.
Yeah.
And to be able to do that with others that have been down something similar, something, that have some kind of level of empathy with your situation, and that understand that you can talk as deep as you want to,
Yep.
or you can be as light and as you need to, and neither one of those is going to be judged.
Exactly. Another part too is like the age groups, like my son Aiden's age group. He's gonna be 25 this year. It's nice to get those guys, because that's an age group that struggles too. Like,
Oh, and the things
Oh,
they've gone
sure.
through.
and younger too. Like when we were younger, it's like, you connected,
Well, we only did connect because we didn't have
not
phones.
on a phone. But now the first one, there wasn't many younger guys there. The
There was a
second
good-
one,
yeah, there was a
second
good-
one was a nice
good
group of
percentage.
Aiden's friends came out, and I know a lot of them, and it's nice to show them that we can do this,
You can talk. And you can be open
and support each other.
and not judged and
No.
not. And I think that's the key too. And everybody comes at different levels. Some are
Absolutely.
fresh into it. Some are whatever you're trying to get out of it. You can get great strong connections, or just a whole bunch of little connections, or just something that's going to feed your soul.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this thing. That when I heard about it, I'll definitely join you on one of them.
Yeah, and I think something I'd like to do too is eventually get to the point where we could invite like guest steppers, I was would call them, maybe celebrities or whoever in the community that can come out and.
Maybe Dan O'Toole, if you're listening to it.
Yeah, I've got a few ideas, and again, inspirational people that we could add it to, where we could do a walk and then actually have that person do like a talk or a presentation at the end, and make more social
Yeah.
events out of it as well, where it's not just walk and talk.
I
That's
think
brilliant.
the start
That's
is
brilliant.
brilliant.
I love
It's
it.
Yeah,
great. I
it's,
applaud your character, your
Creativity.
your resiliency,
Yeah.
all these things, Rob. It's really amazing.
Yeah, and it's
to
like
have
it's
you.
always like giving back, and yeah.
I like your selflessness in all of this, and I think
Yeah.
it's admirable. And we have an opportunity to showcase you for this too, and so
Yeah.
I really appreciate you coming and
Yeah.
telling us the story and telling us all about it. And if there's anything more you want to talk about all of this, we can keep going. Bill, do you have any questions?
Maybe after this is done, we should talk about.
I want to
how
go
we
back
can-
to I want to go back to butchering, but before we cut, because
That's
I
boring
still
now.
I still have a question though, because my mind works this way. How much of the processing of the product happens in the shop now?
Well, compared to back in the day, like the Dewhurst days, it was like all start to finish, but it's really changed a lot. There's still some doing that, but the way I decided to do it was like focusing more on primal cuts, carrying the best primal cuts, so not breaking down the whole animal.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's not many places that do that now, and that's just the way that works for us. And my focus and goal was always to be like, how do I have the best product,
Yeah,
so that people come back and say,
that was the best.
yeah, like consistently, and that's what we're known for. But not only like it's not only just like we've been feeding the whole community since 1999. It's like, especially around the holiday times, like we have this one customer that's been buying lamb legs at Easter since I started the business. Before Herb had it, she bought them then. Her parents bought it then, and she still comes in every Easter.
Oh
And it's
wow!
just
You
like,
got to keep it going.
right. So that to me, that's just like that's keeps
That's
you
what
going.
makes it. Yeah, that's the stuff that makes it really exciting.
And I think about it too over the 27 years, like all the people that have supported my business, that have walked through that door, that are no longer here. Like there's just like so many amazing people that have come through there, and it's like generations. Like it's, very lucky to have had that support for so long.
What's amazing is that it's not like you're on a main street.
No, we're destination. Yeah,
Yeah, you have to know where you are.
yeah,
You're not far from the university, but I mean it's not something you go by.
no,
I'm lucky to have grown up in the area, so I know.
But it's also,
I know it's there,
It's such a
but-
destination that it's never.
But people are talking about it.
Yeah, that
That's the
people
thing.
people know who you are. People know where it is, and people are always in there when you go there.
yeah.
Never. You can never walk in and talk to them.
No.
It's like
That's
that,
why
you get
we've
that-
never met until
It's probably on
until you
vacation.
were able to lasso him and get him here.
But yeah, it's I never tire. I still love it after all these years. It's like still hands on. I mean, I get to step away, and like I said, going back to the staff is huge, and I hear that all the time.
I don't think I've ever been served by you, but I have been served by your
He's not really
staff.
there.
Oh, I didn't even think. I thought Rob Brady was made up.
No,
No, but your staff is amazing.
yeah, we're so fortunate, and we treat them well, and they work hard for
They
us.
become family. They become your extended family, and
And it's
appreciate
relationships. Like people come in and they want to speak to that person.
Yeah.
It's not always me.
No,
Yeah.
no.
And that's what you want. Like when I step out, I know when I'm lucky enough to go on a vacation. Years ago, I used to worry. It's like come back, say, well, this happened, that happened, and so and so was not happy.
That's a sign of success, right
But
there.
now it's like I go away and it's like, all right, it's like you
Come back and people didn't even notice you were gone.
pretty much.
Almost.
That's
But
the way you want it.
I know that they've been looked after, and that's
Right.
important to
Oh,
me,
yeah.
and I know that's happening. So that's the success,
Absolutely.
So
Well, we're before people check out. we try to make these short, but like within an hour. If we go over, it's because there's more to say, and we want to keep the conversation authentic and real and engaging and unedited. But I do have to stop it at some point.
yeah,
But I will say, dude, I'm so glad I finally got to really meet you and
Yeah.
hear your stories. I knew there was so much about you, but I didn't know what it was. And now we had a chance to hear it.
yeah. Well, thank you.
Just thank you so much. And the KW Men Who Walk and Talk.com.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Also,
and the
sorry,
Instagram.
yeah, the Instagram as well, and if also the little plug for with me being on the committee, the Waterloo Suicide Board is they have a golf tournament cup on July 9th.
July 9th. I did
And
see
that's
that, yes.
something that they're looking for golfers and or like sponsors or anything to help us at Conestoga. We're gonna be doing
So we're in as a company. We're in. I already got 3 of 4, and maybe you want to go.
well, I'm gonna be there on hole number 1.
Sweet.
We've donated our beef hot dogs, and our friend Cy, who's an amazing guy, he's gonna dress these hot dogs up like people will be talking about for a long time.
Awesome.
So it's gonna be a fun day, and
Yeah,
all the
we're
money
in.
goes back to it.
We're
Great.
in for
So
sure. I talked to the boys, and they both are eager.
if you can spread the word for that, would be great because it's a great
Yes,
organization.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We'll get this out and we'll get this circulated before then. And I'll talk to my network too.
So either way, hold me a 4 somewhere else. They get it out there, and then all of a sudden, Ed, what happened? You filled up.
He's just come for the hot dogs.
And the Coping Center. We should have a plug for them too.
Yeah,
right?
it's an amazing place. I can't say enough about them.
Yeah, I hear so much about the great stuff they do, and obviously there's a huge need for it, and people need to know about it.
Yeah, and it's interesting too. Like I said to Roz, we were sitting out in the back, and I asked her, I said, how many people do you think you've helped? And she's like, thousands. And nobody pays a penny. They even have a kids program for children that, any kind of bereavement, like, children that have lost parents, and they have summer camps there. So it's like, they just do so much for so many people.
Incredible.
So yeah, we're so lucky to have them in this
I didn't even
community.
know it existed until
Yeah.
Ange came on.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's something definitely we need to.
So buy a ticket for the car, or
Yeah,
whatever
the
you
golf,
can.
the car,
Yeah. Or even just a group of people we met there. They like to ride motorcycles, and they just did another one this year, and they raised like 10,000 just by doing a motorcycle ride.
Can I follow them in the Jeep?
You can't.
They
you
go
can't
too
keep
slow.
up to them.
It's already
They don't go slow enough.
it's already happened, but I'm sure they'll be doing it again next year. But just amazing people
That'd be
helping
fun.
them. Yeah.
Well,
So,
Rob,
yeah, thanks,
thank you
guys.
so much.
Thanks,
I
Rob.
really
Thanks-
appreciate it.
thanks
You
for
are
coming.
truly inspirational, and I'm glad you came on.
Thanks.
Cheers.
Forget the tired old morning jolt. Why settle for a mere pick-me-up when you can have a taste of bliss that pulses through you like the opening chords of your favorite song? Eco Coffee's original blends don't just start your day right, they awaken it with an enchantment, a deep, resonant pleasure. We're talking about that sexual healing kind of morning joy, a sensation that lingers long after the last drop. You can never go wrong with a little morning bliss that feels this good.